I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Kentucky. Cody the Dominator Burke and Randy Sample in the front row. Vic Brown, Bradley James on the second row. Mark the Man Dantuma and Tyler T. Ice Ott have the third row. Jason McCall, Clay Kirchner in the fourth row. Patrick Pieper, Colby Whipple round out the top 10. Kirk Marble starting in 11th next to Eric Walkowiak in 12th. Richie Joplin in 13th. Chad Ragsdale 14th. Brian Hewitt in 15th. Austin Ruskoff in 16th. William Mann Jr. in 17th. Justin Swafford in 18th. Richard Cragen in 19th. Ryan McDaniel rounding out the 20-car field here tonight. It looks like Ryan McDaniel did get his pedal situation squared away. He is on the grid as they begin to roll off. Note the curve to pit road. It is a little bit tricky when you come down onto pit road, especially that top 10 cars. It's really hard to see your pit stall. That could come into play if we have green flag stops tonight. Ryan McDaniel does have his pedals fixed. He is rolling. Everybody gets stacked up and ready to go on the backstretch. All right, here they come through 3 and 4. Pace car about to dive in. There he goes. Cody Burke leads them down into the restart zone. And the green flag flies. They are down and away at Kentucky. And somebody tried to make a move up top, off into turn 1. Looked like Clay got one heck of a start. Got to the outside of T-Ice, but could not get there. Already some 3-wide action down the backstretch. Oh, we've got one up into the wall. No caution yet. And Cody Burke will lead lap 1. Seeing some smoke. Tyler Ott is dropping back. Wow, he got really tight coming out of the turn. Tyler Ott has dropped way back in the field. And it looks like Whipple may have been the one that had a problem into turn 3. Let's see if we can get a look at that. All right, keep an eye on Colby Whipple. He's back there in the mix, 3 wide. Oh! Richie Joplin, William Mann Jr. and Whipple get together 3 wide. Whipple kisses the wall, but keeps her going. As tough as this track is on tires, you want all the aero you can get, and I'm guessing that Whipple probably lost a little bit in that smack in the wall. Colby Whipple already pulling away. A a lot of 3 and 4 wide action throughout the field. Chad Ragsdale has the fastest lap so far. I take that back. Tyler Ott just beat that. Ott has dropped from 6th back to 14th, but it looks like T-Ice is back on the attack. It did look like a real estate issue for sure. Tyler did lose a lot of ground on lap 2. Not sure why he went to the high line. And meanwhile, just ahead, still a lot. Wow, somebody kisses the wall out of 2. And Tyler Ott to the bottom, 3 wide. Into turn 3, it gets really tight down there. And Tyler Ott, no idea what caused him to lose all that ground, but man, he is on the move back to the front. Meanwhile, Bradley James currently in 2nd, Vic Brown in 3rd, Dan Tuma in 4th, Beeper in 5th. And then just a mess of guys racing back behind. Clay Kirchenbauer and Randy Sample battle it out. Kirchenbauer comes out ahead. Right behind, they settle back into 2 wide. Kirk Marble, Richie Joplin, inches apart going into 1. Tyler Ott still attacking. Looked like he was going to make the move 4 wide to the bottom. Richie Joplin looking under, I believe, Randy Sample. Chad Ragsdale up top as they go, 3 wide bumping. Randy is around. Several cars involved, and the caution is out for the first time. Our first caution of the night. Let's take a look. Randy Sample there in the middle between Richie Joplin and Chad Ragsdale. And looks like he came up, bumps off of Ragsdale. Tyler Ott had nowhere to go, nor did Brian Hewitt. Brian Hewitt there in the orange car back behind. Tried to shoot through it, but nowhere he could go, and a hard hit to the inside wall. Everybody is coming in, although I'm willing to bet most of these will be fuel only. A little bit early to take tires here at Kentucky, although you never know. This is an abrasive track. They had 5 total sets of tires for tonight. Looking at 33 to 35 laps on a tank of fuel, so topping off now could be beneficial. Kirk Marble came off pit road first, but I don't think he actually made it to his pit stall. Cody Burke, the first car off pit road that did stop. Randy Sample is back on track, but he did not get the car fixed. Will he come back in to get that repair? And if he tries to race like that, he is going to lose a lot of time very, very quickly. Yep, Sample is bringing it back in. And Kirk Marble has not come back into top off. Colby Whipple, Eric Walkowiak both came into top off on fuel. Randy Sample did get the car fixed. This time he is rolling again. Everybody stacks back up as they get the 1 to green. Kirk Marble, the only car in the field that did not take on fuel on this stop. And it looks like everybody from about 7th on back took on either 2 tires or 4. Colby Whipple's team also banged some sheet metal out. That car should be okay. Pace car dives back in. Kirk Marble in control of the restart. He gets it, and whoa! I think Marble jumped it. He is dropping back. Cody Burke immediately goes to the lead. Talk about a big setback for Kirk Marble. The Geico restart zone is down there, but there are 2 places to the inside of the drivers that have a big Geico sign, and what's going on here? Cody Burke appears to have gotten a penalty as well. That gives the lead for the moment to Bradley James. And man, this shakes things up a bit, don't it? Patrick Pieper in 2nd, Chad Ragsdale currently in 3rd. William Mann Jr. in 4th, Clay Kirchenbauer now in 5th. Ryan McDaniel, despite no practice, no qualifying, and pedal issues, has made his way to 16th. Kirk Marble trying to fight his way back by, but Ryan looks underneath Whipple. Mark Dantuma back in 6th, just set the fastest lap so far. Cody Burke is back out on track, but at the tail end of the lead lap, he's about 23 seconds behind the field, and it's a 31-second lap. He's not far ahead. Mark Dantuma once again sets the fast lap as he looks underneath Clay Kirchenbauer. Patrick Pieper right ahead. Here comes Mark down the backstretch. That outside line out of 3 and 4, definitely the place to be. Clay Kirchenbauer able to capitalize on it, hold on to the position for now. Meanwhile, Chad Ragsdale taking the lead. Bradley James down to 2nd. Dantuma just took 3rd. Justin Swafford now up 11 spots into 7th. Richard Dragon up 11 spots into 8th. Eric Walkowiak has moved into the top 10, but T-Ice now back up into 9th. He continues his march back toward the front. Randy Sample, after that incident earlier on, now back in 18th. Looks like Ryan may still be struggling with the pedals. Oh, and a close call down the backstretch. Vic Brown back in 6th, but Swafford looking underneath. Chad Ragsdale continuing to lead. At the moment, the fastest car on track is also the car at the very back, Cody Burke, about 18.7 seconds behind the field. Good evening, Frank. And Mark Dantuma just moved into 2nd. Bradley tries to fight back on the high side. Looks like Dantuma may be one of the drivers that took on tires under that 2nd stop. And at the moment, it's paying off. Man, they have got a battle going on back here. Tyler Ott in 6th, Richard Craig and Richie Joplin, Eric Walkowiak, Vic Brown, and Brian Hewitt all right here in the mix. Ott trying to pull clear and get back. He is back where he started. Richie on his bumper in 7th. Cragen still fighting in 8th. Cragen gets a better run out of turn 4 as the nose ahead. Chad Ragsdale still has the lead for the moment, but Dantuma is closing in. Really impressive to see the guy still keeping it low coming out of turn 4. You push the car even a 0.5% too much coming out of turn 4, that wall will reach out and grab you. Justin Swafford just moving up into 5th, and he is closing on 4th place Bradley James. Clay Kirchenbauer in 3rd did not take tires. Now it appears Clay took right sides only on that last stop, and he is able to stay with Dantuma at the moment. The Dominator, after that penalty, went to the back, still the fastest car on the track. Now just 13.5 seconds behind Colby Whipple. Every driver in this field wants it to stay green to keep Burke back there as long as possible. All of them know 90% of the time, if Burke shows up, They're racing for second. Clay Kirchenbauer up top. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead. No, Clay couldn't get to the outside on Ragsdale yet. Mark still on the bottom. Ragsdale just ahead. Mark Powers back past Clay. Clay tries for the crossover. And now Clay Kirchenbauer to the inside for second. That is allowing Bradley James and Justin Swampford to get closer as these two drivers battle it out. Kirchenbauer in second, right to Ragsdale's back bumper. Whoa, Bradley James gets a wall at a 2. Goes for a little bit of a ride down the backstretch, but holds on to it. Brian Hewitt in 9th, Vic Brown in 10th, battling for position. And it looks like down the front stretch, they are kicking the dust up onto that safe. Oh, out of 2. I believe that was Walt Kowiak. Walt Kowiak got a lot of the wall coming out of turn 2. Deeper to the high side, Marble to the bottom. But Eric gets his foot back in and he holds on to it. Now Marble may have the run as they go off into 1. And Clay Kirchenbauer has taken the lead. He will lead this time by picking up the bonus points. Bradley James in 4th is pulled back up to him. Tyler Ott now in 5th, and Ott continues to march forward. Could tonight be Tyler's night? And T-Ice is on the attack. Randy Sample is starting to make some ground back up. He is now back up into 14th. Still a lot of ground to make up, but he is closing in on the cars ahead of him. And speaking of catching up, Cody Burke now just 7 1/4 seconds behind Whipple. Burke still the fastest car on track. Clay Kirchenbauer trying to put some space between him and Dan Tuma. Mark's going to go to the bottom into 3. Mark may have the run here. No! Clay Powers out of 4. Meanwhile, Bradley James gets under Ragsdale for 3rd. The top 8 all about 1.7 seconds apart, and as the top guys battle, the rest of them get closer. And it looked like Ragsdale may have given Bradley James a bit of a kiss there coming down the front stretch. Ragsdale back to third, but he went too deep. Bradley back underneath. And Bradley James gets a better run out of two. Side by side, here comes Tyler Ott. Bradley gets down to the bottom, tries to slam the door shut. Kirk Marble is on pit road. Remember, he was the only driver that came through pit road but did not hit his pit stall. Most of these drivers looking at between 33 and 35 laps on a tank of fuel. They were all in on lap 9 and 10. So we are likely to start seeing pit stops in the next 2 laps. Randy Sample, Jason McCall are in. Mark Dantuma underneath as they come out of 4. Once again, Clay gets a better run out of the turn. It's Clay Kirchenbauer at the line. Richard Cragen now up 14 spots into 5th. At the moment, Cragen is the biggest mover, but right behind him, here comes Swofsky. Justin now at 12 spots into 6th as he comes by Richie Joplin and Chad Ragsdale. Clay finally looks to be putting some breathing room between him and Mark just before pit stops. Ryan McDaniel had a problem a moment ago. He is still going. Colby Whipple is in. See if we can see what happened to Ryan. There's Ryan coming out of turn 4. Looks like he just got a little bit loose. Just grazes the grass, but he keeps it going. Colby Whipple has completed his pit stop. But Whipple in a great position. If nothing else, he's about to have a whole lot of fun. He's the driver out there on the freshest tires and about to come blasting through this group. But I reckon we're about to see quite a few on pit road. Dan Tuma's going for it again. It's Clay at the line that time. Meanwhile, there's Colby Whipple on fresh tires and just flying by everybody. I've said it before, nothing more fun than being out there on the freshest tires on track. Cutting through traffic like that. Mark Dantuma takes the lead as Clay Kirchenbauer comes to pit road. Eric Walkowiak also in. And don't look now, T-Ice now to 2nd place. Man, what a turnaround from the start of this race for him. Ryan McDaniel is in for his first stop. Tyler Ott had problems on the 2nd lap, lost a lot of ground, immediately started fighting back, but since the cautions He has charged forward. Bradley James, Chad Ragsdale, Brian Hewitt, Austin Ruskoff, Patrick Pieper, William Mann Jr., all on pit road. Mark Dantuma has come in. Richie Joplin leads for the first time tonight. Vic Brown now to second. Cody Burke still has not been in. I can't see Burke stretching it too much further. And here they come, Richie Joplin, Vic Brown coming in. If Burke stays out, he will reclaim the lead. But it looks like Cody Burke is on pit road. And the lead is going to cycle back, looks like, to Kirk Marble. And Kirk Marble, Cody Burke, both having problems on the restart. What a huge setback, both of them. Well, Marble had to go to the tail end of the field. Burke had to do a drive-through. Both of them trying to fight back. Clay Kirchenbauer now in second. Bradley James in third. Mark Dantuma in fourth. Swafford in fifth. Chad Ragsdale in sixth. Tyler Ott seventh. Randy Sample in eighth. Richard Cragen in ninth. Richie Joplin in 10th. Battling with Walkowiak. Eric Walkowiak has had some really good runs here lately. His finishes have definitely not shown how good he's been doing. You have to think if he puts Bob Ross back on the car, how much faster would he be? Apparently Bob Ross is a really good spotter. Cody Burke is back out on track, currently in 17th. And continues to be the fastest car on track. Kirk Marble, though, the leader at the moment, right behind him. You know, Kirk really wants to get around Burke, trap him a lap down. But Cody does have the fresher tires. It is worth noting, Kirk Marble had to pit off cycle with everybody else. So Clay Kirchenbauer about 2.8 seconds back, but he has the fresher tires and is gaining a lot of ground. Richard Cragen back in the fight up top. Cragen goes to 8th. And after pit stops, Tyler Ott now in 6th place. Clay Kirchenbauer, meanwhile, in second, just about 2.6 seconds out of the lead. Bradley James about a half second back from him. Dantuma in fourth, about 2 seconds back. Swafford about a second behind Dantuma with Tyler Ott on his bumper. Chad Ragsdale also right there with him. At the moment, Swofsky is the biggest mover in the field, up 13 spots into 5th. Kirk Marvel up 10 spots into the lead. Richard Cragen up 11 spots into 8th. William Mann Jr. appears to be struggling a bit tonight. And I think Ryan McDaniel may still have pedal problems. It just does not seem like that car is at full speed, but he is still fighting it out. And Patrick Pieper is out of the race officially. Looking to see if we can figure out what happened with Pieper. Looks like it may have been a connection problem, but I am checking. I think it was a connection problem for Patrick Pieper. Surprisingly, as the night goes on, the track temperatures actually come up. Air temperature has come down. They will get a little bit more power. But the track temperature coming up due to the rubber, they're laying down on the track. Well, they had hoped it cooled down and helped the handling of the car. That does not seem to be the case here tonight. You gotta hand it to Clay Kirchenbauer, currently running in second. This setup definitely not to his liking. He likes a really loose race car. He can run right up by the wall. Every one of the drivers said this car is pushing tonight. He is still making it work and up in the top 3. Tyler Ott just took 5th from Swafford. Richie Joplin back in 9th, Vic Brown in 10th, while Kowiak in 11th. Randy Sample has made his way back to 12th. He is closing in on the cars ahead. Brian Hewitt 13th. Jason McCall in 14th, Austin Ruskoff in 15th. The Dominator is now up to 16th and still the fastest car on track. Colby Whipple in 17th, William Mann Jr. in 18th, Brian McDaniel in 19th. And the lights are starting to come on here at Kentucky. Kirk Marvel's lead is shrinking dramatically. Clay Kirchenbauer now just over a second behind. Bradley James had another problem out of turn 2. Boy, turn 2 has not been Bradley's friend tonight. Well, welcome back, Tina. Mark Dantuma in 4th is closing in on the top 3 as well. Tyler Ott now in 5th. Tyler Ott is closing cars ahead of him as well. Actually, to be specific, he is closing in on the top three. Fourth place, Mark Dantuma is outrunning him. At the moment, only one driver is faster than Mark Dantuma, the Dominator. Kirk Marble's lead about 1 second. Clay Kirchheimer in second as Bradley James rode the wall down the backstretch. Mark Dantuma underneath for third place. This could be a very interesting battle. Both Clay Kirchheimer and Mark Dantuma extremely good on long runs. Bradley James has struggled on the long run here tonight, but he still managed to stay in the top 5. Hey, good evening, Brad. Kirk Marble is loving looking in his mirror, seeing the battling behind. And they are 3 wide for second. Oh, Brett drifts up the track, just gives Clay a little love tap, but it was enough for Dantuma to go to second. While those 3 were battling, Kirk opened his lead back to 1.5 seconds. But now they're back single file, likely going to run him down quickly. Remember, Kirk is on older tires by almost 10 laps. Dantuma is running the leader down quickly. Bradley and Clay go at it again for third. That is allowing Tyler Ott to get closer as Bradley James had a little bit of a blink. And T-Ice continues to inch closer and closer. Chad Ragsdale holding on to 6th. Swafford in 7th, Dragon in 8th, Richie in 9th, Vic Brown in 10th. Vic may have a bit of a run underneath. Richie does have the advantage on exit, but not if Vic clears him before they get there. He does. Eric Walkowiak back in 11th, Randy Sample in 12th. Hewitt now up into 13th. Ruskoff now in 14th, McCall in 15th. Cody Burke currently 16th, Whipple 17th, William Mann Jr. in 18th, Ryan McDaniel in 19th. And Dantuma has just caught Kirk Marble. Gerald, you're right. Mark has been able to make it stick down there all night long. Mark starting to peek the nose underneath Kirk Marble as Kirk is almost at his fuel stop. 33 to 35 laps on a tank of fuel. Kirk was last in lap 38. And Kirk may be setting up to come in. Mark to the high side. Here comes Marble, and Dan Tuma will reclaim the lead right at the halfway point. Cody Burke is currently running in 15th. He's about 1.6 seconds behind Jason McCall. However, when he gets there, there's going to be about 3 cars in a row. With half the race still to go, the Dominator could still find his way to the front. But I think with the guys we've seen in the top 5 here tonight, Burke may get there. He's going to struggle to get past. Vic Brown just took 6th place. Vic has been doing really well on the long runs here tonight as well. He is closing in on Ragsdale and Kirchenbauer. Jason McCall and Colby Wimple are on pit road. Randy Sample has just ducked into pit road as well. Now, if they stay green, they will need at least 2 more stops. Mark Dantuma out front continues to pull away from Bradley James. Tyler Ott now in 3rd has caught Bradley. And we're likely to see a large number of cars on pit road in the next lap or 2. Everybody about to be within the window. As Tyler Ott looking underneath for 2nd. William Mann Jr. and Ryan McDaniel have come to pit road as well. Chad Ragsdale now in 4th, Vic Brown in 5th, Clay Kirchenbauer, Richard Cragen, and Eric Walkowiak are in. Bradley James is ducking in as well. And the leader is coming in, Mark Dantuma on pit road. Tyler Ott will take the lead for the first time here tonight. Chad Ragsdale is in, Bradley James, Brian Hewitt also in. And what a run for T-Ice. He started in 6th place. Dropped all the way to 14th in the first couple of laps. Has fought his way back to the front. Vic Brown now scored in second. Swafford in third. At the moment, in the midst of this caution, in the midst of pit stops, if the caution were to come out, it would trap a lot of cars a lap down. Tyler Ott is coming in. Vic Brown is going to stay out. He'll lead for the first time tonight. Justin Swafford, Richie Joplin, Austin Ruskoff all in as well. And the Dominator is coming in. This is earlier than expected for Cody Burke. And Vic Brown now heads to pit road. Things likely to cycle back to Kirk Marble here in a moment as he is side by side Ryan McDaniel getting one of his laps back the old-fashioned way. Whoa! Well, 8 tires are better than 4. Ryan really trying to get himself back to the lead lap in case a caution comes out, putting him back into the fight. Ryan does have the fresher tires. Bradley James comes off pit road in second. Clay in third. Mark Dantuma slips back to fourth. Tyler Ott in fifth. Richard Cragen in sixth. Vic Brown in seventh. Swafford in eighth. Randy Sample in ninth. And Richie Joplin in 10th. And looks like Eric Walkowiak, they have the lap car of William Mann Jr. there. Walkowiak's going to try and make a move to the high side on Richie. Crosses over to the bottom down the front stretch. Cody Burke currently in 12th. Continues to gain ground on everybody. At the moment, Cody about 9.7 seconds behind this battle for 10th and 11th. And just doing some quick math, there are some drivers in the field that can do this on one more stop. The guys that stopped on lap 80 and 81, it's going to be close. Tyler Ott stopped on lap 84. He'll be able to do it on one more, as will Vic Brown. Justin Swafford, Richie Joplin. Kirk Marble is in. This is unexpected and puts him even further off cycle. That is a bold strategy move. However, from here, he'll only have to stop one more time, and once again, he will have the fresher tires. Marble on his way back out. Randy Sample now in 10th, while Kowiak has made it to 9th and is closing on 8th place, Richie Joplin. Brian Hewitt, Austin Ruskoff battling back for 13th and 14th. Kirk Marble comes off pit road. He has got a lot of ground to make up. However, he does have the fresh tires at the moment. The rest of the drivers we know can make it on one stop. We know Cody Burke can do it. Austin Ruskoff is kind of on the fence as to whether or not he can make it. Obviously, Kirk Marble can. So only about a half dozen drivers we know for a fact can go the distance from here. Bradley James has the lead for the moment. And he is closing in on Colby Whipple. Whipple currently in 15th. Whipple is closing in on 14th place Brian Hewitt. But Bradley James has just about got there to lap him. As we mentioned, coming into tonight, Cody Burke with 4 wins out of 6 races so far, leads the points, followed by Kirk Marble with 2 wins this season. Tyler Ott comes into tonight in 3rd. Tyler Ott also currently runs 4th on track. If the race were to end now, Ott would close up a lot of ground. Bradley James comes into tonight tied with Tyler Ott, and James is currently leading. If the race were to end right now, he would definitely gain a lot of ground. Mark Dantuma comes into tonight 5th, Cragen in 6th, Randy Sample in 7th, Clay Kirchhammer in 8th, Richie in 9th, tied with Austin Ruskoff. Colby Whipple in 11th, William Mann Jr. in 12th. Vic Brown, Brian Hewitt are going to make up a lot of ground tonight with Jeremy Queener and Malachi Martin not being here. Laps to go and one more pit stop at Kentucky. Bradley James continuing to lap cars. He just got past Whipple and is now closing in on 14th place Brian Hewitt. Meanwhile, Cody Burke has made his way to 11th, still the fastest car. And he continues to close the gap on the cars ahead. Ryan Hewitt now losing a lap. Clay Kirchenbauer back in second, about 2 seconds back, battling with Tyler Ott and Mark Dantuma once again. Tyler Ott trying to take third from Dantuma. Ott has come through this field tonight. And what a comeback it has been. Mark Dantuma not giving that position up easy. Now they're going to go 3 wide with Kirchenbauer. And it looked like something went wrong with Clay into 3. He lost a lot of momentum through 3 and 4. Clay slips back into 4th. Dantuma out of 2nd. Tyler Ott into 3rd. And they are closing the gap on the leader, Bradley James. Vic Brown currently in 5th, is closing in on Clay as well. Cragen back in 6th. At the moment, Cragen the biggest mover of the night. Richie Joplin in 7th, Justin Swafford in 8th. Eric Walkowiak in 9th, and Randy Sample in 10th. Although Cody Burke has caught up to Sample. Dantuma in 2nd, Tyler Ott in 3rd. Lap traffic coming into play again. Ott's going to try and make the move up top this time. And he may get it by the time they get into turn 1. Ott was almost clear into 1. And he does clear it out of turn 2. Brian McDaniel has gone to pit road. William Mann Jr. also on pit road. And the leader is having big connection problems. Man, as soon as Tyler Ott cleared Mark Dantuma, he said goodbye. He's already pulling away and closing rapidly on Bradley. Kirchenbauer using every bit of the track as he comes into turn 4. William Mann Jr. coming back out on track. He will not be able to go the distance from here. The magic number these drivers are looking for is about lap 117. And Colby Whipple just kissed the wall. Whipple and the turn 3 wall have gotten to know each other really well tonight. they really are. These cars do have quite a bit of power, and you really got to drive them. Clay Kirchner in fourth has lost touch with the second and third. Vic Brown, though, is getting closer. Richard Cragen back in sixth. Swafford still in seventh. Within striking distance, Richie currently in eighth. Eric Wolkowiak in ninth. Cody Burke now in 10th. And he is closing in on Eric. As everybody closes in on those final stops. Gerald, they definitely feel like those old cars did. Colby Whipple has just come to pit road. He's going to be on the outside edge, but he may be able to make it from here. He's going to have to conserve a little bit. Jason McCord is in. He is going to be close on fuel as well. Bradley James continues to lead, but for how much longer? Here comes T-Ice up top. Ott reclaims the lead. Bradley James now goes to pit road. Clay Kirchenbauer also in. And they should be able to make it from here. Mark Dantuma now in as well, expecting to see the bulk of the field in any moment. Eric Wolkowiak is in. Richard Cragen also in. And here comes the leader, Tyler Ott, to pit road. Vic Brown is going to stay out and take the lead for the first time tonight. Vic definitely going to make up some ground in the points tonight. Still quite a few races to go. It is still very much anybody's championship. Whoa, Clay Kirchenbauer was way out of shape coming out of turn 4, battling with Dantuma. All right, Vic Brown, Justin Swafford, Richie Joplin, Cody Burke, Kirk Marble, and Austin Ruskoff have not been in yet. Everybody else has stopped. Most of them that will be their final stop. The Dominator's in. Richie Joplin may have just lost connection. Nope, it has resolved itself. That was close. He disappeared for quite a while. And it looks like Richie is coming in. Swafford Ruskoff also in. And Vic Brown continues to lead, continues to stretch it. Nope, Vic is coming in. How much longer will Kirk stay out? Things about to heat up here in Kentucky. Kirk Marble reassumes the lead, but has not made his final stop yet. Bradley James has reclaimed second. Tyler Ott in third, Dan Tuma in fourth, Clay Kirchenbauer in fifth. Gerald, he may have. We'll have to ask if we get a shot. Dan Tuma was definitely battling a lot more on that last run. Kirk Marble is out front by a significant margin. He still has to. Here he comes. Kirk is in. This will be his final stop. The lead likely to cycle back to Bradley James. Yep, Bradley has reclaimed the lead. Tyler Ott now in second, Dan Tuma in third, Kirchenbauer in fourth. Vic Brown now to fifth. Justin Swafford to sixth. Cody Burke now to seventh. Randy Sample now to eighth. Richie Joplin in ninth. Kirk Marble coming out in 10th. Colby Whipple currently runs in 11th. Whipple, as we mentioned, is going to have to conserve a little bit of fuel here. If he can hop in the draft of the leaders, that might make it easy on him. Look like Clay kissed the wall going off into one. Bradley James lead about 2.7 seconds over Tyler Ott and Mark Dan Tuma at the moment. Cody Burke has just moved into sixth. Cody continues to be the fastest car on track, but I don't think we're going to see him in victory lane tonight. He is 15.6 seconds behind the leader. So we may very well see a new winner here tonight, and it could be Bradley, Tyler Ott, or Dan Tuma, or Clay Kirchenbauer. This is going to come down to who has the most tire left in the final 5 laps. Bradley James' lead is shrinking. Ott now just 2.25 seconds behind. Tyler is likely pushing that car to its absolute limits, trying to get to the front. Bradley James, if he's thinking about it, is conserving a little bit of those tires for the final laps. And Cody Burke, Kirk Marble getting penalized on that restart. Huge setbacks for both. Kirk Marble managing to get back to 10th. Cody up into 6th. Might be able to run Vic Brown down and take 5th. Bradley James having some connection problems again. Oh, I think Bradley got the wall there. Does not appear to be any damage to the right rear of his car. Might have just given it a little bit of a kiss. Tyler Alt less than 2 seconds behind, and he has Dan Tuma with him. Played just about 7/10 of a second back. Also, really digging Clay's new paint scheme. Vic Brown back in 5th, is faster than the top 4 at the moment. But Cody Burke faster than everybody, now 4.8 seconds behind Vic. The question is, has Bradley James saved anything for the final laps? Because Tyler Ott is getting closer. Tyler just over 1 second behind. Both Dantuma and Kirchenbauer within striking distance behind him. And word has it, Mark Dantuma will have a new paint scheme next Wednesday. Kirk Marble in 10th is actually closing in on Richie Joplin and Randy Sample at the moment. Kirk may recover further despite a series of mistakes here tonight. "15 laps to go. Bradley James still has it, but here comes Tyler Ott, Mark Dantuma, and Clay Kirchenbauer. And Tyler Ott, at the moment, is the fastest car in the top 5. And has got to the leader's bumper, but will he have enough to get past him? It's been a while since we've seen Tyler in victory lane. Tonight could be T-Ice's night. Hey, good evening, David. How are you, bud? Tyler Ott has the nose ahead. Out of turn 2. It's a drag race. Down the back straightaway. Dan Tuma and Kirchenbauer inching closer. This may very well come down to a 4-car battle for the win. It is still Bradley James at the line with the lead. Tyler may beat him into turn 3. Nope, doesn't this time. But Tyler on out of 4 slides up, shuts Bradley James run down. Tyler on to the lead with 11 to go. Mark Dantuma, Clay Kirchenbauer now close back up as well. The Dominator back in 6th continues to be the fastest car. But man, that early penalty was just a huge setback, and with only 1 caution tonight, he didn't have a chance to get back to it. Ten laps to go. Tyler Ott is opening a gap. Clay Kirchenbauer right back on the bumper of Dantuma. We've seen these 3 battle for second a couple of times and for the lead a couple of times tonight. I don't think we're done yet as Dantuma shoots it underneath. Bradley gets the better run out of turn 2 up top. Dantuma sets to the inside. Clay looks high. But Dantuma goes a little too deep through 3 and 4. And Tyler Ott is smiling when he looks in his mirror. 8 laps to go and the 3 cars. Oh, wow! The 3 cars behind him battling it out. Dantuma backed out of it, not to make sure he didn't turn Bradley, and open the door for Clay. Dantuma holds him off for the moment. And Tyler Ott opens up a 7/10 of a second lead. Clay goes to the high side yet again, but can't get the momentum. It is so hard to build any speed on the outside of 3 and 4. The way this track is laid out through 1 and 2 up top is fast. 3 and 4 up top will slow you down dramatically. Dantuma on the attack for second yet again. William Mann Jr. has come to pit road. Five laps to go for Tyler Ott as they battle behind for second. Dantuma may clear this time. Mark Dantuma clears into second. But he's now over a second behind the leader, Tyler Ott. 4 laps to go. Clay Kirchenbauer now battles for third. Trying to go the high side on Bradley James. He'll have the advantage out of turn 2. Clay trying to make it stick up top through 3 and 4. He may have it. He does, coming out of 4. Clay Kirchenbauer to third. 3 laps to go for Tyler Ott. He has a 1-second lead. Hey, good evening, Russell. Tyler Ott leads him out of turn 4. 2 laps to go. Mark Dantuma in second, Kirchenbauer in third. Kirk Marble just moved up into 8th. Cody Burke looks like he'll finish in 6th. And here we go, the white flag flies. One more time around for Tyler Ott. He has a 1.1 second lead. Problems early, he went from 6th to 14th in the first 2 laps, but has fought back all night long. And he will be our 3rd winner this season. Out of turn 4, Tyler Ott will get the win at Kentucky. Mark Dantuma coming home in 2nd, and Clay Kirchenbauer holds on for 3rd. Bradley James has one heck of a night and comes home in 4th. Vic Brown finishes 5th. And let's see if we can talk to our top 3, starting with Clay. Clay, it looked like you had to fight for everything tonight. Hey, Clay, you got me?
Yeah, I got you, Doug.
Hey, it looked like you had a heck of a fight for everything tonight.
Yeah, I'm kicking myself. I really didn't figure out how to save Tyre till the very last stint there. The stint before last is when I gave the race away. I had a big lead on both Tyler and Mark there, and I just burnt my stuff up, and they ran me down from like 3 seconds back and got me, and that's really what cost me the race, because they pitted a lap after me there on that last stop, and I just decided to ride and save and save and save, and I was 10th quicker a lap than Tyler at the end. I just, you get stuck in there and you can't pass. But good run, good for Tyler, and it was a lot of fun.
Great job tonight, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I've never heard someone sound so disappointed about a podium, but still a great finish for Clay. Let's talk to 2nd place, Mark Dantuma. Mark back on the podium again tonight, and a heck of a run, especially considering all the fighting you had to do to get there.
Yeah, it was a battle all night. I just ran a slightly different strategy, and I keep getting behind these same guys that were short pitting on me and having to slug my way past. But congrats to Tyler. He ran a great race and was fast when it counted.
Well, definitely was. I do have to say, we were wondering if on that second to last stint, you might have pushed it just a little too hard. It seemed like you came in a little earlier and you weren't quite as fast there at the end.
Yeah, I kind of got out of my rhythm for a while there, and I think that just kind of chewed the tires up, and I just could never really get back in it.
Well, still an awesome comeback and an awesome run tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. Just want to say thank you to Navy Joe Coffee, too, for jumping on.
Great job tonight, buddy.
Thank you.
And finally, our winner. Well, T-Ice, you're the first different winner this season. Congrats, buddy.
Holy cow, that was fun.
I imagine it was. I mean, especially after lap 2, you lost a lot of ground, slid from 6th to 14th in 2 turns, and Man, then battle your way back the way you did was really an impressive run.
Yeah, I hit that wall in turn 2 on lap 2 and just couldn't get out of it. And then I got caught up in that caution. I was like, oh, I'm screwed. But when after that caution came out, I was doing some math. I'm like, oh, it's perfect for the gas fuel. And then I just kind of stayed newer tires than everybody else, so I had the really long run.
Well, it definitely worked out. The strategy was perfect, and man, you could tell you had the long run figured out tonight because you came charging by. Plus, you get a nickname tonight. What more could you want?
I don't know. This is like, I don't win races more than just leading the last lap. This was a new experience.
Well, man, you dang sure earned it tonight. A heck of a run, a heck of a finish, man. Go celebrate. Congratulations.
I will. Thank you.
You can tell Tyler Ott is excited for this one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, Home Motorsports is back on track. And look for some announcements about the coming weekend. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, y'all.